On this, maybe I can get a full dress out of it, but for now, focus on here. We're gonna make ourselves a lovely swooshy circle skirt from these two blocks of fabric, and that'll give me time to think about what to do next for the dark side. Well, good afternoon, boys and girls, and happy Star Wars Day. You're probably wondering why I'm wearing a dress more than twice my size, and I'll tell you. I bought this dress a long time ago, back when it did fit me better, and that's clearly no longer the case. But what's probably more absurd than how it looks on me now was the price of this dress. It was used on eBay. Let's not even discuss how much it costs brand new, but for me, it costs between $50 and $60. That's absurd. And why does a 100% polyester, poorly remodeled dress based on the character of Kylo Ren cost that much? I'll tell you. The tag. This right here is exactly why it costs so much. But looking back on those days of me just going with whatever was available out there before I became the seamstress that I am now, I know now I could probably do better. So that's going to be our experiment today, is taking this very large dress on me, reconstructing it into something A, better fitted, and B, more accurate to my personal sense of style. And we're going to, and the first thing I want to do is eliminate as much of the polyester of this dress as I can and replace it with cotton. This is, I think, between all of it, about 5 yards of black cotton. The one thing I do want to salvage is the parts that make this look Kylo Ren. So the stripes here across the bodice, we're going to just cut out a pattern from my size, fit all of this in, salvage the sleeves because it has that nice striped look, but everything else, like up here, definitely the skirt, as much of this that I can get rid of as possible. So that covers the dark side. Another thing I want to do in honor of Star Wars Day is also represent the light side, or at the very least, the rebellion. So I have this sheet, and I bought this sheet when I was doing research. One thing I really, really wanted for my wardrobe is a skirt with lightsabers on it. So this is going to be a skirt, and I'm going to make sure that the lightsabers are vertical on the skirt. So I have this. It is unfortunately 100% polyester, but beggars can't be choosers. And this is some light blue cotton. And what I was going to do with this is line the inside of the skirt. This side is blank. So putting this on the inside and giving that some color and a little bit more structure, because this is very flimsy. So the cotton's going to serve as a nice vibrant blue for the inside of the skirt, but also to give it a little bit more heft. Okay, so we really do have some limitations here with this sheet. It's twin-sized, and that doesn't leave us a whole lot. But what I really want is for the sabers on the sheet to remain vertical, which means that the writing on the sheet will wind up sideways on the skirt. So the best way for me to do that is to, I think, tilt it this way. That way, if you are reading sideways, the wording will be top to bottom instead of upside down. That would be a little harder to read than at least top to bottom. I don't want it to be a lazy circle skirt where it's just two panels sewn together. I want the sabers to remain as vertical as possible throughout the skirt. So there are going to be multiple pattern pieces sewn together just to keep these as straight as possible. The blue skirt. Don't zoom in on me too much. I'm not wearing makeup today.
I'm not. Currently, I'm looking at the bucket or bin.
Here it is. So something like this for my Star Wars the lightsaber dress.
Oh yeah,
skirt.
yeah.
That's the word.
Those are cute. I like that. What about this thing? Because then, like, if I don't know if the way the pattern is on the in the actual fabric, but if you could have one lightsaber in each section,
that would be hard to manipulate.
Okay.
So I was totally wrong about this being a circle skirt. In fact, there are so many pieces I'm going to have to cut out. There is absolutely zero denying that the lines are going to be straight here, and I don't mind that because it'll help me to remain straight on the pieces. So this is the main piece, front and back here. And if you're familiar with commercial patterns, you know that with every pattern it gives you a guide of where it goes on the grain, and I've discussed this before. So having a fabric with straight lines going all up and down the skirt will ensure that I keep this straight, not just for the grain line, but for the pattern itself. I can make this look really, really good. But I also have to be conservative here because I don't have an unlimited amount of fabric. And I need to make sure that there's enough space between these pattern pieces and the godette pattern pieces, which have quite a bit more width to them. I need a total of 10 of these and 8 of these, and they're short enough. I'm keeping the skirt short on the shorter end, so I should be able to work across at least 2 levels here. Okay, so I've been adjusting and experimenting for about 20 minutes, and I think I finally have something that I like. I want every pattern piece, godettes and the main pieces, entirely to have exact measurements from the exact same place of every lightsaber. So 1 inch down from the handle, that's where the line is going to be, and I want the bottom of every piece to have this circle from just the way it's kind of circling around the focus point of the saber, and that's going to be very uniform and very awesome. If every saber pointing upwards is going to have the same look, and that's really the best way I can think to do this. So I've marked here on the pattern piece, and I'm going to do the same to the other two, where every pattern piece is going to have the marking of where the circle should go exactly on that piece. And then we're going to cut out as many patterns pieces as I need from this. According to the pattern instructions, there are many stages of sewing. We begin by attaching the main panels at the top, leaving room for the godettes later. I have enough time to sew these by hand because each of the 10 seams are very small. Now comes time to add the godettes. 4 godettes per side, I pin them into the spaces left open below the top seams. The resulting look was even better than I imagined. At this point, I knew I chose the right pattern for this project. With both sides complete, I sew them together. But only on one side. The opposite side is finished and left available for a zipper. So, welcome to our last day. Apparently, I need to get this skirt done today, and that is because of a deadline I didn't know I had until 3 days ago, and now I'm rushing to finish at least the skirt today. What we need to do is basically all the finishing, and this isn't like a normal skirt I do where there's just 2 or 3 seams. There are 19 seams in this one skirt alone, and you need to finish every one of them. You need to then add the waist and insert the zipper and hem the whole thing. And today is going to be a challenge in finishing all of this, which is doable if I use the machine, so a lot of machine will be used today. With the seams for 18 panels to finish, I get straight to work pinning them down. If the seams on the inside are to be finished correctly,
Welcome to the channel, like and subscribe. Isn't that what YouTube wants us to say? Our Lords and Master Google? Yeah. Would it be too cliche to say the saga continues? I'm not within slapping range currently, so I can make all the terrible Star Wars puns I want.